نحمده تعالى ونستعينه ونستهديه ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فهو المهتد ومن يضلل فلن تجد له وليا مرشدا وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله يقول الله عز وجل بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ألف لام ميم أحسب الناس أن يتركوا أن يقولوا آمنا وهم لا يفتنون ولقد فتنا الذين من قبلهم فليعلمن الله الذين صدقوا وليعلمن الكاذبين. We begin by praising Allah the Almighty. Allah is worthy of our praise and gratitude for the blessings that you don't know about and for the blessings that you may be present to. All praise is due to Allah and all thanks are due to Him for His countless blessings in our lives. My brothers and my sisters, I always stress this point of being present to the blessings that you have. Shaitan will have you and I focus on what we don't have, where the problems are in your life and what is missing. That way you don't get to be present to the blessings that you have so that you can be of the shakireen, be among those who are grateful to Allah. Why? Shaitan wants to prevent you from getting more blessings because Allah the Almighty, He has promised you and I by saying, وَلَئِن شَكَرْتُمْ لَأَزِيدَنَّكُمْ, that if you are thankful to Allah, that I will give you more, that He will give you and I more of the blessings that we have if we show gratitude for it. So the Imam starts every Friday by thanking Allah the Almighty, but you and I listen to it as it's something that we hear because we're waiting to hear what's going to come after that. It's just an introduction. It's just a word we say Alhamdulillah, we say thanks to Allah. But my brother and my sister, if from today's khutbah you only take this one point away, that when you thank Allah, the next time you thank Allah and you mean it for something that you are present to, that you have. It could be your health. It could be your family. It could be the fact that you have a job. It could be the fact that you have parents who look after you and you're not an orphan in an orphanage. It could be the fact that you live in a country and in a place where it is safe and sound. There's so many things that you and I can thank Allah for and be grateful for. My brother and my sister, we can talk about gratitude until the end of the khutbah, but today is not about that. I read from Surah Al-Ankabut, in which Allah the Almighty, He says, Alif Lam Mim. Do people think that they will be left alone by saying that we believe? Do people think that they will be left alone just saying we believe? And that they will not be tested? We have tested those who came before them, so that Allah may know those who are truthful against those who just say so or who lie. My brother and my sister, being honest and truthful is not a simple thing as it sounds. Most of you already think you are truthful. Nobody thinks that they aren't truthful. I don't think any one of you will come up and say, brother, I am dishonest. But if it wasn't applicable to you and I, then Allah wouldn't address it to you and I. It is not a state that you're going to get to, that one day you will just become truthful and that's it. For the rest of your life you will remain truthful. My brother and my sister, it takes a lot of work to have what is inside you show up what is outside you. It takes a lot of work to have our appearance be matching what we hold inside. That our actions match our word. That is the sidq that Allah the Almighty is talking about. That we don't have something that we hide in our hearts and something else that we say. Or we say something but we do something completely else. You see, we live life, we interact with one another, and we don't tell people in our lives important things about ourselves, important things that we are dealing with. And we say, nobody needs to know my own business. Nobody needs to know personal matters. It is personal, so I keep it to myself. We forget at the same time that Allah knows what we show and what goes on in our hearts, and that we will be accountable one day. And sometimes we may even say that, well, if I am open and direct about what I see, if I am truthful about what I see and I can say it, then I might offend other people. You may also find people who say, I cannot allow others to talk about things that I consider to be embarrassing or shameful. It's a sign of disrespect for me. I'd rather keep my personal things hidden until I have to disclose them. If you can hear yourself saying any of these things or something similar to that, then I want you to pay attention to this khutbah in a way like you have never done before. This is not another sermon where you will be told a lot of ayat from the Quran and a lot of ahadith. This is not a khutbah where you will go back with more information. Because every ayah that you hear is a burden and responsibility. Every hadith that you hear may become a burden and responsibility on you. But my brother and my sister, this is a khutbah in which I want you to look at your life. So whenever I share something with you, I want you to look and see how that applies to you. How you are doing in that area of your life. So when you leave this place, you don't leave this place knowing about being honest, but you leave this place actually being honest. You leave this place seeing where in your life dishonesty is crippling you. Where in your life not being open and straight with people in your life is actually killing those relationships. Where in your life you're playing small, you're being the weak one because you don't want people to know. So you sneak, duck and dive through life. If you did that, then it would be worthwhile you being in the khutbah. My brother and my sister, there's an impact of that way of being. When you don't show what you're going through, when you don't tell your father what you're dealing with, when you don't tell your children the difficulties that you may be having, even with their mother, or with your job, with your boss, with your friends. When we hide things from one another so that we may look good, pretend everything is okay, there is a big impact. And some of that impact involves no relationship. You feel coldness towards your children, or your children feel cold towards you. Or you feel that your father or mother don't understand you. It is one of the signs, one of the impacts of you not sharing with your people in your life what is going on with your life. Now I want to draw your attention, especially for the elders here, to a story in the Quran in which Allah the Almighty tells us about practically what that looks like. Stories in the Quran are not told just for entertainment. They are told for us to learn a lesson from, so that you can relate to it. Instead of just telling you, be honest, don't be dishonest, Allah tells you how other people have dealt with it. So here is a story in which Allah tells us about Musa alayhi salam. Musa alayhi salam he meets this family. But in that family, the daughter of that family, she goes to her father and says, Ya abati, ista'jirhu inna khayra man ista'jarta al-qawi al-amin. Oh father, this man, hire him. For the best person that you can hire is a person who is trustworthy and strong. Now, that's what we are told in the Quran. The full story is not told. But Allah the Almighty, He tells us things that are palatable to us. She may have said to her father, oh father, I am interested in that man. Father, I would like to marry that man. Look what her father does. He goes to Musa alayhi salam, he says, Inni uridu an ankihaka ihda ibnatay hatayn. I would like you to marry one of my daughters. One of my daughters would like to marry you. Now you see that the father had such a relationship with his children, in this case with his daughter, that she could come and talk to him about someone she likes. She can come and talk to him about someone she likes. And the father has such a relationship that he understands what his daughter means when she says, oh, why don't you hire him? She probably means a lot more than that. And he's willing to engage her, indulge her request. And he goes to Musa and asks him to marry his daughter. How many of you and I will find a man for our daughter and go up to him and say, hey, I have a good daughter, I would like you to marry her? It's too embarrassing for you and I. It's too embarrassing for the young ones here. You won't go up to your dad and say, Dad, I like it, I fancy a girl. Or I fancy a brother in my university. Or someone that I know. You don't say that. My brother and my sister, when you don't say, what happens? I will share with you my personal story, and it is important to share personal stories too. But I gave you a story from the Quran so that you know where it comes from. So that you know that sharing stories is not embarrassing. You know that being open is not a sign of your weakness, but it's a sign of your strength. It's a sign of your sidq. Sidq means what you hide inside also shows outside. You don't show something and hide something else. After my first marriage, I got married at 22 and I was divorced by 27 with a child. After that, I spent 9 years being single. Not telling anybody that I want to get married. Not telling brothers close to me that I am actually divorced. Why should I? It's a personal matter. When I get married again, I'll tell them. That's the attitude I had. 9 years went by. It wasn't easy. How many a person did I get to know that I didn't follow things through with? How many a sister did I say, yes, let's get to know one another, or ask a brother to introduce me to his daughter, and then get to know one another, and then say, sorry brother, I'm not interested. Sorry sister, I'm not interested. How many heartbreaks were there? May Allah forgive me and forgive us all. My brother and my sister, I never told my mother that I was seeing or I was interested in this particular family. I never told my sisters what was going on. My thing was, once I have got it all arranged and sorted, then I will tell them. 9 years went by in the same manner. And how many people hurt? How many sins that I was gathering during that time? My brother and my sister, what becomes possible when you can have an open relationship with your parents, and when you can have an open relationship with your children, is that nothing is left for surprises. Nothing is left for nasty surprises. So you don't wake up one morning realizing that your wife has sent you a divorce paper. You don't wake up one morning and find your husband has done the same. Or your son has become a drug addict. Or the police is bringing him home. Because you don't know what happened for the last 2-3 years of his or her life. You haven't been involved in their life. You only find out when disaster happens. My brother and my sister, when you are open with your children, When you're open with your parents, it's a safe space for learning and sharing. I can guarantee every young person here that you don't share with your parents what's going on in your life. Because you think you will be judged by your parents. You think that they will not understand you. So you'd rather keep it to yourself because they're too old to understand what you're going through. But I guarantee you they were your age one day. They were your age one day and they have gone through the same challenges that you're going through, but they don't say it to you. And this is for the parents out there who hide all the things that you've gone through when you were 17 and 18. How many hearts that you broke when you were 17 and 18? How many mistakes that you made when you were that age? And now you pretend to be an angel in front of your children, so they never actually tell you what's going on because you are an angel. You are unapproachable. They can't come near you. They can't talk to you because you're too serious. You pretend to be an angel of God on earth. But you are not. And I address every young person here. Your parents have gone through what you have gone through time and time, my brother and my sister, in one way or another. And do you know what? They can give you guidance and support in whatever you're going through if you open up to them. But it takes a lot of courage. It will take a lot of courage for you to open up. But once you open up, they will open up to you. But my brothers, the parents here, children cannot open up to you until you open up, because you are the leader of your families. And leaders lead by example. So don't expect your child, if he is on drugs, to come and tell you, Dad, I'm on drugs. If your daughter has a boyfriend, don't expect her to come and tell you. If you are yourself closed and you've never disclosed to her what you went through growing up, what challenges you are having growing up. Isn't that the case? Is this not the case that we hide from our children what we're going through? Is this not the case that you're hiding from your parents the difficulties and challenges that you and I are going through? My brother and my sister, Allah the Almighty, He teaches us that openness is sidq. And sidq is the way to paradise. يَوْمَ يَنْفَعُ الصَّادِقِينَ صِدْقُهُمْ. On the day of judgment, the honesty and the openness and the truthfulness of people will come to their benefit. I am looking at the time here, and we started late. So I'm going to skip quite a lot of it, but with a plea to brothers and sisters that you can either continue living the life that you're doing right now, and you'll be waiting for one day, someday you will open up and share what's going on for you. When I opened up and told the brother in the masjid where I am involved in Finsbury Park, the brother said, "What, Mustapha, you didn't tell us all this time?" Yes, I didn't tell you all this time. I pretended everything was okay. So all those times we invited you to come to family gatherings, you never turned up because you couldn't bring your wife. Yes, because I didn't have a wife to bring. It would be shameful for me to turn up. So I pretended everything was okay and I gave an excuse why I couldn't attend. My brother and my sister, it is not worth it living a life like that. I told the brothers introduced me to a sister. 3 months later, I told my mom, I told my sister, they went and saw the sister, and then my mom said to me, "Son, you're not marrying that daughter. That girl, you're not marrying her." I said, "Mom, what do you mean I'm not marrying her?" She goes, "She's not good for you." I said, "She's not good for me? She comes recommended." My mom said to me, "Well, in truth, I don't want you to break her heart like the other women you've broken the hearts of. 9 years have gone by, you have been single, you have not told us what's going on. And now you bring this girl to me. If I say go ahead with it, you will break her heart. So don't marry her because you are not good enough for her. If you want to marry this girl, you marry her now." Within 2 months, alhamdulillah, I was married. I have children with her. She's my wife and my partner in life. Brothers and sisters, as difficult as it may be, the rewards are even greater. And the pain and the disaster that happen by hiding things from your children is far worse. The Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam once led prayer. And he finished after 2 rak'ahs when he should be praying before. One of the companions says, "O Messenger of Allah, did you shorten the prayers for something?" He says, "No, I didn't." Some of the companions said, "O Messenger of Allah, you've forgotten. You only did 2. Telling other people things politely and nicely doesn't have to hurt. If your child turns around and tells you what's going on, don't treat it like a shock. Don't bark at them like a wolf. I wasn't going to say a dog. My brother and my sister, the Messenger of Allah ﷺ was open. He never reacted. When the man corrected him, he didn't go all crazy like, oh, how dare you talk to me, you correct me like that. That's not the way to do it. Be open, especially with our children in this society. Do you know how much they hide from you? You don't know a percentage of your child's life. Their friends know more about them than you do. In fact, your wife's friends know more about your wife than you do because you're not involved in their life. You will get involved when it's disaster. Don't wait for the disaster. My brothers and my sisters, with this I conclude. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive you and I. Seek His forgiveness, for indeed He is the most forgiving, most merciful. وَبِهَذَا أَسْتَغْفِرُ اللَّهَ لِي وَلَكُمْ فَاسْتَغْفِرُوهُ إِنَّهُ هُوَ الْغَفُورُ الرَّحِيمُ. الحمد لله رب العالمين والعاقبة للمتقين. All praise is due to Allah. And the final triumph, mark these words, the final winner are those who are God conscious. Not those who are self-conscious, not those who want to look good in front of people. The final winners, because you know we win in front of people by looking good. Someone says, how's your daughter? Everything is fine. How's your family? You pretend everything's okay. For that 2 minutes, for that 2 days, for those years, you look good in front of people. But the muttaqeen, those people who are God conscious, are the people who are open and honest about their lives. They have the final win. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make you and I of the people who are from the sadiqeen. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow you and I to have the courage to be open and straight with our children, and for us to be open and straight with our parents. Oh Allah, you know what we hide and you know what we show. Help us to have consistency in our lives. Oh Allah, grant us the courage and strength to be open and straight with our spouses, with our children, with our family members. Oh Allah, protect us from the impacts of our own shortcomings and our own sins. Oh Allah, protect our parents, our spouses, our children, our brothers and our sisters and friends from all our shortcomings and our weaknesses. Indeed, you are our protector and our guide. You are our helper and the source of our strength. Ameen. Wa akhiru da'wana an alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen wa aqim as-salah. Brothers, I know we are running late, and apologies for the brothers who are probably running late for work. Inshallah ta'ala, we will finish within the next 5 minutes or so maximum, and I'll keep it short, inshallah ta'ala. Please make room for others. Jazakumullah khairan. Bismillah.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Last week collection was £1,079.85. Jazakumullahu khairan. And a very short reminder that our weekly talks tomorrow, Saturday and Sunday will not take place, but will resume inshallah as of next week. Jazakumullahu khairan.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله. الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. إذا زلزلت الأرض زلزالها وأخرجت الأرض أثقالها وقال الإنسان ما لها يومئذ تحدث أخبارها بأن ربك أوحى لها يومئذ يصدر الناس أشتاتا ليروا أعمالهم فمن يعمل مثقال ذرة خيرا يره ومن يعمل مثقال ذرة شرا يره. الله أكبر. سبحان ربي العظيم وبحمده. سمع الله لمن حمده. ربنا ولك الحمد. اللهم لك الحمد في السماوات والأرض. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. إذا جاء نصر الله والفتح ورأيت الناس يدخلون في دين الله أفواجا فسبح بحمد ربك واستغفره إنه كان توابا. الله أكبر. سبحان ربي العظيم وبحمده. سبحان ذي الملك والملكوت سبحان ذي العزة والعظمة والكبرياء. سمع الله لمن حمده. ربنا ولك الحمد. اللهم لك الحمد. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. تحيات لله والصلوات والطيبات السلام علينا وعلى عباد الله الصالحين أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له. اللهم
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So gentle reminder for next week because the clock will be going backwards by an hour. So the Jumu'ah inshallah next Friday will be 10 to 1. Jumu'ah, inshallah, next week we'll start at 12:50, 10 to 1, inshallah. Jazakumullah khair. And the salat will be at 20 past 1. So half an hour of salat, inshallah. So we start the Jumu'ah at 10 to 1 and the salat at 20 past 1, inshallah. Jazakumullah khair.
كيف الحال؟ خير. هاي مفاجأة. أخبارك طيب أهو. It's a surprise. السلام عليكم ما شاء الله. Yeah. ما شاء الله. I recognize you. I thought, this guy I know. Oh, thank you. Oh, ما شاء الله. Good to see you. Take care. Keep in touch, huh? Take care. السلام عليكم.